Our hero claims a warrior's heart. I tell you, the dragonborn comes.
You'll have to settle for Blackbriar Mead, Remy. You're lucky I'm feeling generous.
Wonderful, thank you, Zell. I'd say you're the best, but the best would have also gotten me the rum. But you're appreciated nonetheless.
As for you, Redcap, here's some Colovian brandy.
Ugh, brandy! Smell strong!
And for me? Well, nothing they had was appealing, so I'll be having one of my bottles of Flynn.
Nothing was appealing? But you got something appealing for both Redcap and myself.
Flynn! Flynn!
Wait, how have your bottles survived this long without shattering?
Alchemist's secret.
Oh, dizzy drink? Good!
Well, since you've done so well at keeping it safe, you should let me have a sip. I like Flynn.
You've got your drink, Remy. Besides, Flynn isn't easy to come by in Skyrim.
You want Zell to share a secret stash with you too, right? Convince him. For me. And Redcap. But his call is abysmal. What do you think, Redcap? Would you like to try some Flynn?
Yes, him share. Me drink. All dizzy drink.
Redcap has barely drank anything, and he's already intoxicated. He doesn't need more. Regardless, he doesn't seem to value flavor as highly as I do.
Welcome to the Winking Skeever, friend.
Get dizzy.
Well, as it turns out, I had a pet skeever when I was a boy, and he used to wink.
And while it's fun to be dizzy in general,
They were smaller back then.
like the drink, don't you think?
Sure thing. It's yours for a day. Take a look.
Me like all
Here,
drinks.
take a look at this.
Then your palate
I'll
must
show
be
you to your room.
extraordinarily
Right this way.
simple.
Or you too picky.
No. None of that. No need to fight, I will bridge this gap. See, I like all drinks, but I also like good flavor. So, all of our drink preferences work out. Right? Zell can give the drinks he doesn't like to us, Redcap. And if a drink isn't strong enough to make you dizzy, you can give it to Zell and me. I actually think this is a genius idea, if I say so myself.
I sense one particular individual will benefit greatly from such an arrangement.
Yes. Wait, who?
Oh, I think he meant you. Definitely you.
Oh, Redcap, win!
Zell and I come from quite literally opposite ends of Tamriel. And yet, here we both are in Skyrim. Life can be bizarre, huh? Okay, sounds great. Are you getting the drinks, or am I this time? What's on your mind? You're too kind. What is it? Oh, wonderful. I was feeling a little fancy today. Okay. Oh, my birth father. Yeah, he was reanimated by necromancers a few years back. Well, like I said before, I never really knew him. Since he died in a fishing accident, his body was lost and never consecrated. But apparently not lost enough, since it was found under the employ of a band of necromancers in the next fiefdom over, Alcair. It's a good thing they didn't head further north. The noble houses in Rivenspire probably would have taken it as a sign of aggression. That's true. It was hard on my mother. To lose him twice really tore her apart. My living father also took a pretty hard hit from it. But that was partly my fault as well. Yes, I don't really want to talk about it. Let's stop this line of thought.
I'm listening. Definitely. Do you need a powerful or simple potion? Of course I can. Which powerful potion do you need? Here you go. Now you will be irresistible. Did you have a specific one in mind? I could tell you the story of the first time I impressed Master Sewell. When I was a young hireling, I would occasionally pilfer a few plants from the tower conservatory. It would be common things like coda flowers or trauma root. I'd mix a few of these stolen plants together to make some potions that would allow me to levitate, but also be invisible. I used the potions to float up to the top of Relevant Sewell's tower in order to get a nice view of Lothanis. Sewell had specifically told me that I was not allowed to climb the tower. One time it seemed that one of my ingredients had gone off, as the invisibility effect wore off quickly. Sewell caught me sitting on top of the tower one evening. Rather than scold me, he seemed to be impressed. At that point we had hardly spoken. He only knew I was Orin's assistant. He challenged me to make a potent enough levitation potion that could take him to Ranyon Rune and back. I returned to the tower conservatory, this time able to use whatever plants and ingredients I wanted. After a few hours of tasting and experimenting with a variety of ingredients, I returned to Sewell. He handed one of his servants a large sack of gold and told him to drink the potion. Sewell asked him to go to Ranyon Rune, purchase 3 portions of ebony, and return. After a while, the servant returned, 3 portions of ebony in hand. When the servant had almost reached the tower, the potion wore off. He plummeted towards the ground, thankfully landing in the bay. I did not pass Sewell's challenge, but I had far surpassed his expectations. He knew that the ebony had not been part of my calculations. From then on, he would always stop by the apothecary to see me when he could, sometimes giving me some new ingredients to work with. That incident was the catalyst for my journey up through the ranks of House Talvani.
On the day of your death, we will drink and we'll sing.
Sure. What book did you have in mind? You might want to let Remy know we're heading out. I'm not sure if she's gathered.
My father was all the family I ever had. I felt so lost when he died. But the crew of the Red Wave's my family now.
I should set the metal rods at 45-degree angles for optimal support against the steam pressure. But would that leave enough space for the gears? We're getting a room for the night, right? I'm exhausted.
Hello there. We haven't met, have we? I'm Fironet, although my friends call me Firo, or Netta for short. Although I guess I'm getting ahead of myself. We just met, so we're hardly friends. Not to mean that we won't be friends someday, or even today. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at this. Can we start over?
Ugh.
Oh.
Nerdru tastes so
well met as well.
fine.
I mean, well met and greetings. What I'm trying to say is, greetings and well met. Oh, sweet taffy treats, I did it again, didn't I? Well, I was kind of hoping I could.
You know where we are.
I know, you're probably thinking I've gone mad the way I fumbled through our meeting. And, truth is, I'm perfectly happy just being Netta the milkmaid. Well, my friends have all said that I have a great singing voice. I suppose they should, because that's what friends do. But after hearing it a number of times from different people, you start to think there might be something to it. So here I am.
Our hero claims a warrior's heart.
No, not yet. I talked to Viarmo, and he said that Pantia Atea would hear my audition when her schedule clears up. Which is completely understandable. I imagine a master vocalist must have a very hectic schedule. It must be water, or some honey-based tea. It's hard to believe a master vocalist like Pantia would damage her vocal cords by drinking alcohol. At least not in public, anyways. True. On the one hand, all this anxiety can't be good for my health. Or my skin. On the other hand, at least now I can still cling to hope. Safe journeys.
So exciting when new folk come into town. I bet you've had plenty of adventures.
There's been rumors of Talos worshippers leaving notes at the Temple of the Divines. I've never seen one myself, though. You mean, is there anything in particular you want to hear? You mean, like a song that I wrote? Oh, I'm not that talented. I mean, I've written a few lyrics, and there's sort of a melody. How about I sing it, and you can give me some guidance as to whether it's good?
Carry music everywhere.
All right, here goes. Snow falls on all the land, all the land, all the land. Snow falls on all the land, shrouded by dark wings. A child prayed unto the gods, save the land, save the land. And the god said unto the child, to Skyrim come spring. For our hero does walk the land, walk the land, walk the land. Our hero does walk the land, and the dragons will flee.
Remy, we get dizzy drink, please.
Dizzy drink? I'm afraid I'm not.
I'm sorry you didn't like it.
Did they,
In my defense, it's still a work in progress. Although maybe that's more of an excuse.
Oh. Well, I.
Oh no. I came here on a ship from Laneland, near Iliac Bay in Hammerfell. I didn't come alone, though. My fiancé at the time came with me. He stuck it out here in Skyrim for a few months, but eventually boarded a ship headed back home.
If I'm being honest.
It's my fault, really. I knew he didn't want to come to Skyrim, and it was probably the guilt that made him follow me here. It's one of those things. If I loved him, I shouldn't have asked him to leave. If he loved me, he wouldn't have asked me to stay. So in the end, I guess neither of us loved each other.
Dizzy drink.
But we'd already invested so much time into the relationship,
Go for some flame.
and so he sacrificed everything for me.
And as the added bonus of not rotting your brain out.
Just the loot. Can you imagine me on the drum? I can't.
Drinks.
Safe journeys.
Do you have a preference of what type?
Ah, you, good friend. Any, all.
I was accidentally staring at someone while thinking, and now they keep looking over at me. Don't look, though. I'm pretending they're not there. Well, naturally, I won't say no. At least I usually wouldn't. My heart just really isn't in it right now, though. Well, you see, I was imagining having a grand meal, seated at a long table with friends and family, knocking back warm drinks. And in my mind's eye, the food that was laid out was a first course of stuffed capon, accompanied by sliced fox tongues. On the side was some fried bottleglier with a dip of rich goat cheese. And to finish it off, honey cakes, powdered with sugar. Yes, I was told as much when I tried to order it at the Silverblood Inn. I cannot fathom what about it seems bad. It doesn't seem much different than eating roasted boar's head. And I tell you, it's really quite divine. It's the type of food that you can't help but pick at, even if you're full. Well, my imagination had that glowy yellow sheen of something I am remembering as better than it actually was. And then add in the fact that we arrive at an inn and the food is Nordy. Well, it's turned me off of eating for the moment. It will pass, though. You can count on that. Do you have any foods you wish you could have right now?
For the darkness has passed, and the legend yet grows. You'll know the Dragonborns come. This is an ode to Skyrim's staunch protectors.
Oh, was that a joke?
The
A
Imperials.
stomach to fill your stomach?
We drink to
When you
our
eat a stomach, is it like having extra food to eat? First, the stomach itself, and then whatever is inside the stomach? I've always imagined food in the stomach to have become mush. Is it like eating mashed potatoes?
With our blood and our steel, we
All you did was make me think of more delicious tasting food. Nord food still seems terribly unappealing.
Rick the Killer
But
King.
maybe next time. In fact, I'm going to hold you to that when Nord food next seems appetizing.
We're the children of Skyrim, and we fight all our lives.
Redcap,
and when
here.
Sovngarde beckons, every one of us dies.
Dizzy drink. Give. Meripaka. Kawa.
It is ours, and we'll see it
Morrowind is dwindling. With House Drez in shambles, and Salil in Blackmarsh, and the Dominion in elsewhere, the number of slaves are at record lows. The ones that are left are jealously guarded. You will occasionally hear of slave raids.
your death. We will drink and
What do you
we'll
need?
sing.
What would you like to know? Well, admittedly, I don't actually know that much about him. He is a master of House Telvanni, so he has a seat on the council. Mind you, Telvanni masters don't actually physically participate in the council. They have representatives that speak for them.
Dizzy drink.
This representative is called a mouth. House Thren currently does not have a mouth to represent him. Correct. House Thren, unlike most Telvanni masters, is not prejudiced against non-Dunmer. That's his reputation anyway.
You so
It is unlikely that any other Telvanni master would be willing to have an Argonian represent them on the council. I believe he is studying some Aeliad ruins. The Doomcrag, if memory serves me. He has been allowed by one of the local barons to set up his excavation there. I do not recall the family name with certainty. Montclair, perhaps? No problem.
Can Remy hear Scrap? Ugh. Walking hard.
I really do think that Zell should give Redcap a ride on his shoulders. I could carry Scrap, and he could carry Redcap. Right behind you. Do you think Redcap is small enough to ride Scrap into battle? Oh, what I'd give to see that. I've had time to brew a few. Sure thing. All right.